House, and I call this meeting to order. So go and please stand and join us in invocation.
Dear God, we ask you to be with us today. Grant the commissioners wisdom and a sense of stewardship for the resources that we distribute on behalf of the citizens of this county. We thank you for the opportunity to serve, and we ask that we show respect for you and for those who elect us to office. We ask you to guide us, help us to make wise decisions, and to always let our actions and our words glorify you. We ask all this in the name of your son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Please join us in the pledges.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. You may be seated. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Here.
Commissioner Casterline.
Here.
Commissioner Russo. Here. Commissioner Dupnick,
Here.
Judge Garza.
Here, we've got a full quorum, full court. Section 5, citizens to be heard. Do we have anybody signed up?
That I'm aware of, no.
All right. We'll move on. Section 6, presentations and proclamations, item number 1. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve proclamation P 13/2024 recognizes May 10th through the 16th, 2024 as National Police Week and honoring the service and sacrifice of those law enforcement officers killed on the line of duty.
I will second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
This is recognizing National Police Week 2024 and honoring the service and sacrifice of those law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty while protecting our communities and safeguarding our democracy. Whereas there are more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Aransas County Sheriff's Department and the Rockport Police Department. And whereas since the first recorded death in 1786, there are currently 24,067 law enforcement officers in the United States who have made the ultimate sacrifice and been killed in the line of duty. And whereas the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. And whereas 282 new names of fallen heroes are being added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial this spring, including 118 officers killed in 2023 and 164 officers killed in previous years. And whereas the service and sacrifice of all officers killed in the line of duty will be honored during the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund's 36th Candlelight Vigil on the evening of May 13th, 2024. And whereas the Candlelight Vigil is part of National Police Week, which will be observed this year, May 10th through 16th. And whereas May 15th is designated as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of all fallen officers and their families, and U.S. flags should be flown at half-staff. Therefore, be it resolved that Aransas County Commissioners Court will observe May 10th through 16th, 2024 as National Police Week in Aransas County and publicly salutes the service of law enforcement officers in our community and in our communities across the nation. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
I would also like to announce that this Wednesday at 11 o'clock, the South Rockport Neighbors will sponsor the Peace Officers Memorial Day service. It's about a half hour to hour service. It's right there at the Public Safety Center. Everyone is welcome. Our own judge will be one of the speakers, and we encourage you all to come.
Thank you. Anything else?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
All right, passes 5-0. Item number 2, actually, consent agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I move to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. I do want to acknowledge some donations. We've got a donation of $70 from Wendy Laubach for kitten food and a pet carrier. We've got a donation of $50 from Michelle Smith for Rapapil milk replacer and kitten formula. Got a donation of $10 from Daniel Randall. Got a donation of $85. It was from the adoption event we had at 420. Got a $34 donation from Jerry Red. And we've got a $236 donations from the adoption event on April 27th. There any other further discussion? Let's go and vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Section number 8, item number 7.
I move to approve the first quarter 2024 report for the Friends of the Fulton Mansion.
Second.
Got a motion and we have a second.
Good morning,
Morning.
Judge
Good
and
morning.
Commissioners. I'm Jane Hill, and this is Courtney Smith. Our site manager was unable to make it today. She had intended to, but Courtney's one of our educators, and she can answer any questions that you might have about any of the projects that we're doing. So see if I can get this time. Oh, there we go. Okay. And next slide, is it this arrow? Yeah. Okay. So what I'm presenting today is a second quarterly expense report, the number of nights in area hotels, promotion of the arts, and then what projects that we have in the works, and advertising, which is a new one for us. Our second quarter expenses, we spent $5,608. That was actually from last quarter, but the bill got paid this quarter. And that was mainly for public radio that occurred in your first quarter, would be October, November, December. Our Easter egg hunt, we had we purchased 6,000 eggs for $894. Our tour guides, as I mentioned in our last quarter, that paying our tour guides ends at the end of the summer, August 31st. We didn't want to end it in the summer. Summer's really busy. And so for a total of $12,161. Okay. Whoops, I went too far. Beds to head second quarter, our total visitors was 3,014 and our total hotel nights 1,729. And that's a picture of one of the Music at the Mansion performances that we are doing. We did one in April. We're about to do one tomorrow night from 7 to 8:30 at Zydeco Band. Promotion of the arts, our second quarter. We celebrated Fulton's 50th anniversary party. That's something that Courtney put together, and it was a beautiful exhibit. It just ended. Again, if you have questions for her about any of this, we had a talk, a formal talk that was free to the community with artifacts about the courtship in the Victorian era, which was nicely associated with the anniversary party. Our Easter egg hunt. We had over 250 attendees, and that's a yearly favorite. The families love that, and we do get people who come from out of town. Destination weddings. We had some beautiful weddings. I've got a picture of one of those in one of my next slides. And we attracted Oyster Fest visitors. We had a lot of people from Oyster Fest. Projects in the works that we're working on, expenses not quite this quarter, but will be coming. We are upgrading the kitchen. We're adding a Victorian era stove. We hope to have it soon. It's a beautiful stove that would have been what the Fultons would have had in that era. We're also adding pots and pans, utensils, other things to upgrade the kitchen to make it look like a working kitchen, so that when they go down there and tour, they get that full experience of walking back in time. We're replacing the fountain at the front entrance. If you've driven by, you've seen the old fountain is down. It's because it finally wore out. And so that's being replaced. That expense will probably be shown in next quarter's expense report. History and art programs, that's something that Courtney puts together, is very actively involved in putting together those programs. And of course, we're scheduling destination weddings. It's the perfect time of the year for people to come down here, and they do. Also, Sea Camp is in the works. Music at the Mansion, as I mentioned, April, May, and June, and we may try to do it again in the fall. We have Halloween events and programming that we work on now in advance of those events. Arbor Day, that's something that's going to be, that we're hosting this year. Last year, they had 150 visitors, and we hope that to maybe make that a yearly event at the mansion to promote. And that's came to us, let's see, from the city of Rockport and Fulton, and I'm not sure, Aransas County Tree Committees came to us and presented that, and we're offering that to them. We're not charging them for the use of the grounds. We've also got our Christmas, Victorian Christmas programming, and we're returning caroling, which was previously very popular. Our advertising strategy, this is new. We have engaged the same advertising agency, HTM, as used by Rockport Chamber of Commerce for the past 10 years. I called them. They are thrilled and so happy with this agency. And so we thought we would go with someone that's tried and true. Did I say that correctly? Tried and true? Yeah. It's a major campaign for us to attract more out-of-town visitors, 75 miles and further, and that'll be shared with some of the other hot funds on a pro rata share basis. San Antonio, I'm told, still remains the major feeder market. What the strategy will be for us is there's a tourtexas.com. It's an e-newsletter, mobile banner, geo-targeting. I'm new to this, but people like Courtney knows what it is. Apparently, when you're on your phone and you look up something, I'm not the best one to explain this, but this is what people do in the advertising arena and what the city of Rockport or the Chamber of Commerce is doing. Also, Texas Public Radio, the San Antonio station, that attracts people who are more mature and have disposable income. So it attracts that group of people. Then social media, Facebook and Instagram for younger folks. And then static billboards in San Antonio and I-35 near Waco. And here's a picture that's just got approved by Texas Historical Commission of what the first banner will look like. So instead of digital, that's going to be a beautiful canvas, great big billboard that people will see as they're coming from San Antonio or from Dallas. So we think that's a beautiful one. And also will remind people of what we have here in this beautiful city. As the Easter egg hunt, that was quite a fun event. And we also offer activities. That's what the tables are for. There are events during the Easter egg or before or after rather, that are crafts, right? Wedding. This was one of the weddings we recently had where they come down the steps. It's really beautiful. Have their ceremony there in front of the fountain and the chairs over there. And then on the side is usually a tent. I don't have a picture of that. This was the recent Music at the Mansion with the Stillwater Band in April. And that's the fountain that we purchased. Sorry that it's got the name of the person, the company that we bought it from, but it's very, very close to what the one that we had looked like. And it's specific to that Victorian era. So that will be installed soon and working. And then the kitchen, it gives you an idea of some things that we've added, but there will be more in case you haven't been to the basement in a while. Just wanted to put in a couple of pictures to kind of remind you. So again, we want to thank you for your support of the Fulton Mansion. And as a reminder, we are the second most visited state historic site in Texas. We present Victorian history related to the Fultons and the Fulton family and Fulton, Texas. It's family-oriented events and programming, and we have beautiful grounds. That's perfect destination for weddings or events. And again, thank you. Do you have any questions for us?
I'll be excited to come see the kitchen renovation.
Yeah.
Because I know before, I think you had the outline of it, stove on the wall.
Yes,
And so it'd be
yes.
fun to see a real stove.
Oh, it will. It will. And our current site manager, she's been with TCH for quite a long time. She goes back and forth between our site and her site, which is the Star Family Home in Marshall. And that's also a Victorian home. So she's very experienced in how to outfit it. And she, along with a director at the very high level in THC who helps to purchase all of the artifacts that they use, and make sure that they're correct for the period. They've been working on it. So it's going to be quite a cool event to see. And we will certainly let you know when it's ready and look forward. In fact, I'll personally invite you and we'll be
Mhm.
happy to give you a guided tour and show you all the work that the money that we receive is being put to work.
Do you
Thank you.
think that they will ever have, I know there's a lot of stuff in the state archives to do with the mansion and the Fulton family and their businesses. Do you think that that will ever become searchable by the public?
I'm going to let.
I unfortunately can't answer that question. The Texas Historical Commission is separate from a little bit separate. They're different entities. And so I think, so to work, it'd be a matter of borrowing artifacts on loan. And with some of the risk, we can't have too many. We kind of rotate what artifacts we have on display just because it makes it safer for them whenever we do have to move them in hurricane season, if necessary. And so we carefully pick what goes on display and try to rotate it out in order to allow for a better opportunity for people to come in and see different things as they come in throughout the
I
year.
was really talking about the paperwork that they have in the archives, if they might set that up where people could, search that from your home or
I haven't heard anything.
a computer in at y'all's
Whether that's a
location.
possibility or not.
Do you think that's something that you would like to see as an exhibit at the museum that we could get on? I'm not
No,
saying that we
I was-
could. I don't work for
I was really
THC, but
more interested that people that were interested, I mean, you could do it from your home. you
Yeah.
could Do it from a
got it.
computer at y'all's facility or something, not bring this stuff here because I know
Okay,
it's,
more of a
I
research
know it's pretty
database.
fragile. A lot of it's probably pretty fragile material, but if they could scan it and put it in or make it work.
And-
it would be
You could
searchable.
even tie that to your website so that if somebody's searching and they want to know more about it, they could go ahead and look at it and decide whether or not to come. Looks like that'd be a relatively easy thing to do, but I don't know.
And I'm not quite sure either. I haven't heard whether that is a possibility in the future. I know they just redid the THC website completely here a couple months ago. And so we're all still learning how to work the website and the back end of how we add events and things like that. So we're still very much in a training process on how the new website works in regards to the different historic houses.
Good.
All
Good
right,
idea.
thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ms.
Great
Mathil.
work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline. Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 8.
I move to approve the first quarter report for the Texas Maritime Museum.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Come on up. Morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for allowing us to be here today. My name is Mike Labels. I'm the new Executive Director, Judge, Commissioners.
Mhm.
Thank you once again for allowing us to come and talk. Unfortunately, I've only been here for about 2.5 weeks now, so I'm not going to be presenting. I will turn this over to Ashley.
Good morning.
Morning.
Just a quick review of our first quarter report for you guys. It was a good quarter for us. You can see our total attendance for this first quarter was 4,095. And that includes all events as well as our regular museum attendance. And then of those, we had 2,353 registered visitors that stated they came from at least 75 miles outside of Rockport. And then that does show growth from our first quarter in 2023 of just under 300 people. We're always thrilled to see those numbers go up, of course. That is the goal, to attract more people to our town and to the museum. We do have an average annual attendance. We show you guys, of course. Right now, we only have first quarter, but you can see that if we continue throughout the year with the trend of the first quarter, we will be on track to show a growth in that total annual attendance as well. We do provide this breakdown. It shows major cities in Texas as well as local. You can see only 7% of our attendance in the first quarter came from local. The rest of it is from major cities in Texas, and then that large area other covers just about everything else, any other area in Texas outside of those cities and local, as well as our out-of-state visitors. And of course, this time of year, we do see a lot of winter Texans coming through. So that's why that shows such a large number there on the other. For our heads and beds numbers, you can see not quite half of our registered guests stated that they stayed overnight in hotels in the area, with 23% stating that they stayed at least 4 nights. So good numbers there. That brought our total number of nights to 3,837. Breakdown of expenses for the first quarter there. Of course, the 24 totals match that right now as we're still first quarter. But we did have a good amount for advertising. We've started picking up on our advertising for our Wine Fest, which is coming up in less than 2 weeks, and we'll have numbers for you guys on that for our second quarter report, of course. But that's where the majority of that advertising is coming from right now. Something new we added this time around for you guys are some social media and website numbers. We wanted to get that in front of you. You can see our social media followers, a pretty big increase of just under 34% compared to the fourth quarter of 2023. Always excited to see that grow. With 1.2 million impressions, that does show a decrease from the fourth quarter of 23. The reason for that is we had one post in the fourth quarter that went viral and reached nearly 1 million people on its own. So that is why that does show a decrease in the percentage there on those impressions. Otherwise, it held pretty steady for us. Not sure what happened there, but these are some of our ads we have running on social media. Roughly 25% of our reach on social media comes from that paid advertising. Just wanted to give you guys a look at what is currently being promoted. Of course, we have 2 general ads for the museum itself, and then our Rockport Wine Fest ad, which is the one we're focusing on at the moment. Of course, that event coming up so soon. Had 122 posts to social media during the first quarter. That one shows a bit of a negative too, due to the fact that there were so many posts during December regarding our Christmas at the Lighthouse Gala, sponsors, that sort of thing. A lot of advertising going on there. We will likely see a pretty significant increase, I would expect, going into the second quarter with WineFest promotions as well. I wanted to give you a look at some of those posts. You can see that top one had 191,000 impressions with over 20,000 interactions. That was a pretty successful post for us. Regarding Battleship Texas, they have increased our social media posts regarding the exhibits at the museum, as well as maritime history in general in the state of Texas.
I really enjoy those posts.
Glad to hear it. Then onto our website, you'll see a large increase in page views compared to the fourth quarter of 23, nearly 115% with 14,500 page views. We had 7,500 from just over 7,000 visitors. Then we wanted to give you some demographics on where those visitors are coming from. Of course, the majority of them are US visitors. And then we show 70% in the state of Texas, but we do have visitors coming in from multiple other states, checking out the website and what the museum has to offer. Then, of course, we always like to give you guys a few pictures to keep you in the loop on what's been going on. So we, of course, had field trips. Our educator visited the Odyssey After School Enrichment Program. And then January through March, our lecture series runs. That kicked off in January. Then in February, lecture series and field trips continuing. We also had a Valentine's STEAM Day event. I believe there were about 120 in attendance for that. In March, we participated in the City of Rockport Easter event, and then wrapped up our lecture series with some pretty great speakers. We had some really interesting lectures this year. It's always well attended. And then spring break maritime camp. They always have a great time, lots of cool activities for the kids to participate in during that week. Kind of a little glimpse of our summer camps. They get a taste of that during spring break, and they always have fun. You can hear them out in the yard. They're having a good time. As always, thank you guys for your support. We appreciate everything you do for the museum. And if you have any questions, let us know.
Not exactly a question, but you might mention the date of the patrons party and then also the Wine Fest.
Yes, patrons party. It's coming up very quickly next week, actually. Patrons party is the 23rd at 6:30, and the Wine Fest is that following Saturday, the 25th, begins at 2 p.m.
And tickets are available.
Yes, online, through social media and the website, you can get to the Eventbrite page, and then sponsorships, feel free to reach out to us at the museum. We can help you get that set up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Mike.
welcome, Michael.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dubnik,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Before we move on, there are a couple items I need to strike. Should have did it at the beginning. If you're here for these items, apologize. I'm gonna strike item number 10 from this agenda. And I'm gonna strike item number 19 from this agenda. Moving forward, item number 9.
I move to approve the first quarter report for the Friends of the History Center.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning, Ms. Pam.
Morning, Judge and Commissioners. Happy to be here. So we are the little boutique history center here in Aransas County. Wish we had the attendance that you've just heard about, and we do partner with each of these institutions as they do their events during the year. So we have a good time working with them on that. But we really focus on bringing forth serious local history with 4 different exhibits during the year. And as you well know, these exhibits really collect historical information. It brings to the people different topics that they perhaps didn't think about or see. Our exhibit in January was called Healing Hands. It was all about healthcare in Aransas County. And here you see the cases that were set up with the displays, and one of the speakers, the opening event. One of the things that was featured were the drugstores and the druggists, the pharmacists that were here in town. And we were fortunate enough to have descendants of these 2 major druggists who came for the opening. These were the Johnsons and the Rotens. And so everybody had a wonderful time learning more about those families and how they operated their drugstores, which are very familiar to local people. The doctors that we really featured were Dr. Elliott and Dr. Patillo. Some people in this audience may have been delivered by Dr. Elliott or Dr. Patillo. Those were the stories that we got as we were beginning to prepare this history. Very, very interesting. Then we also went back in time to look at Doc Brule, who was the first pharmacist that we have recorded. Well, actually he's the second, but the early pharmacist here in town. He also served as mayor for several times. But what we found out that was a lot of fun was that Doc Brule actually trained to be a druggist or pharmacist in Waco at the drugstore where Dr. Pepper was invented. And so during our opening event, we served Dr. Pepper so that we could explain to people why we were doing that. We always have a series of programs on the afternoons that connect with the exhibit. So these are the titles of those programs that we had connected with this one. We have a lot of collaborations with the different people that I've already mentioned. The Charmers came to the History Center so that they could then relate to visitors at the Chamber of Commerce what we have up. We participated in the Aransas Pathways Strategic Planning Meeting, which you see here, because we are part of Aransas Pathways. We do not receive HOT funding, but we receive funding via Pathways. And then we've been continuing to have meetings Main Street program from the Smithsonian that's coming in January. So we're busy working on that as well. Our publicity is featured on social media, as well as a lot of advertising in the pilot and other online venues that we can do. We really appreciate the support of the county through Pathways. With our outreach, we participated in the Winter Texan Appreciation Day. We did a talk over at the Port Aransas Historical Society and also with the Texas Master Naturalists. So we try to connect as much as we can with other groups. Oops, sorry, jumped one. Then with youth, we prepped the youth. You see one of them there in the left-hand corner. We and dressed the Armadillo Gang for roles at a cemetery tour that we had on March 3rd. About 40 people attended this event. And you see, I'm sorry he's not in court today, but you see our county surveyor in there, and he is dressed to represent the earliest surveyor in the county, Mr. Percival. So he was talking about surveying, and he was standing near the tombstone of Percival. So this really related a lot of history to the general public who dropped in. We've had a proclamation read earlier for Historic Preservation Month, and that's what May is. And so we're going to give you a chance to come help us celebrate. And on Wednesday, May 22nd, we will have a presentation of awards. The awards this year are going to the Days, who have restored the Brock House. Steve Russell for his work on the cultural interface, and the Goose Island State Park, who have really upped their level of heritage outreach. And we really appreciate that. It's been something that's been really fun to have the staff come to the History Center, to the school, and also, of course, on site at Goose Island State Park, do a lot more with history. So we want them to feel appreciated. Okay. Any questions?
I just want to make a comment on your the Armadillo game.
Huh?
My little grandson went to the cemetery tour.
Uh-huh.
He was just amazed that there were dead people in there. He said, Papa, he said, there's dead people there. I said, that's what a cemetery's for, son. I said, well, I didn't know that. I just thought it was for markers and stuff.
Well, I don't know. It might be a little irreverent to portray it as ghost of the cemetery, but that might get people's attention too. We'll think about it. Thanks, Cheney.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Aye. Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Thank you, Pam. Appreciate you. Item number 11.
I move to approve change order number 6 for construction contract for Rattlesnake Point Road in the county's General Land Office Community Development Block Grant Disaster Relief Contract number 20-065-098-C270 to New Stout Excavating Group Texas LLC to increase the contract cost by $23,768.59 to a new total of $5,413,586.07. This change order reduces ditch cleaning by 500 linear feet and increases the rehabilitation of detour road construction and adds 22 days to the contract time.
Second.
Got a motion and got a second. Morning,
Good
David.
morning. This is another of those change orders, trying to use all the money for these projects. I think we have about $25 left on this project, so
Got it pretty
we're
clear.
doing pretty good. And if we could find something that costs $25, we'll use it.
Looks like they're coming pretty near the end.
Yeah, they're substantially finished, I think.
And I've heard from constituents about the condition of the repaired roads. There were the detour roads and they're pleased. So thanks very much.
Yes. Yeah, they did good. And the project turned out well. I think everybody's been up and down that road a few times by now and much better than it was.
And I know your group also did some work on some of the, in the area also, and appreciate the work they did. Had a good compliment about that stretch of Rattlesnake Road
Right.
between the church and Sagebrush.
Yeah, it took a while to get there but I think it's turned out really well.
Good project.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Aye. Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 12.
Move to approve change order number 1 of the construction contract for Southeast Aransas County drainage improvements in the county's general land office community development block grant disaster relief. Contract number 20-065-098-C 270. Rizzo Construction LLC request an increase in the contract amount by an additional $61,843.50 and an increase in the contract time of 60 days. This change order will increase the contract amount from $5,542,866.32 to $5,604,709.82. The change order is for additional work needed to install 810 foot linear foot of HDPE storm drain pipe.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. What does HDPE stand for?
It's plastic pipe.
Okay.
Heavy duty or something.
Yeah, high density probably.
I had one question. In the background, you mentioned that the contractor encountered different right-of-way widths and existing objects that were not shown in the construction plans. Who was responsible for those plans?
Mont McDonald.
Mont McDonald? Okay. Thank you.
I think you might also want to point out to people listening to this is we had extra money in the grant that we were able to use, and that's why these change orders were put on to increase the amount of work that we're doing in the grant.
Yes, we are trying to increase the amount. We do have extra money to use for all of these projects. And we will try to use every penny we can.
To make improvements, and I appreciate that. That's a
Right.
great thing. But
Charlie has managed
to have
work.
errors in the construction plan is not good.
Yeah, this was a problem specifically we were trying to fix.
Yeah,
And we
thank
did.
you.
Y'all managed the project very well.
Thank you.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 13.
I move to approve change order number 2 of construction contract for Southeast Aransas County Drainage Office Community Development Block Grant Disaster Relief. Contract number C 270. Brizo Construction LLC requests an increase in the contract amount by an additional $441,708.85 for necessary drain pipe and paving materials. This change order will increase the contract amount from $5,604,709.82, which I think we just approved, to $6,046,418.67.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second.
Can you just explain the contractor encountered site conditions and material availability issues?
So most of this was because we had power poles in the bottom of the ditches. And we talked with AEP about moving them, and their workload was such that it was going to be a while before they did that. So what we did instead was run a pipe alongside those power poles, so we didn't have to dig them up, and it did slow down the work.
Thank you.
And AEP agreed that was a good idea.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0.
Move to approve soliciting a request for proposals for Sheriff's Office radio tower equipment and installation. RFP number 2024-701. CDBG Met Mod funded project.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. And we got the sheriff walking up. Morning, Sheriff.
Morning.
Looks like we're finally going to get to the end of the project that we've been working on for 7 or 8 months. And I assume we're still on track for the approval of the project. Money had been set aside to the county I guess, nearly a year ago, and projects had been submitted. This was one that we put in the mix to include equipment at the South Tower at 188 and 35 that the fire department put up last year. And then establish a triangulation with microwave of the 3 towers we have, allowing us to remain in communication with 2 towers if we ever lose any one of the 3. It'll improve the service not only for the sheriff's office, but for fire and EMS. And now we're ready to go out, I think, wanting to submit it for proposals. And I guess the funding, I would say we're within a couple of weeks of getting it all approved. I don't know, but they told us to go ahead and put together a proposal to release for bids.
So the towers are already in place. This is just equipment
Yes,
to
ma'am.
be
3 towers are.
on the towers.
Towers all exist. This is the time together and to complete the equipment that needed to be put in at 188, because the fire department has their equipment, but we do not have the VHF equipment for fire or for law enforcement and EMS at that location. But this will add to that and complete all 3 towers being the same and then time together.
Sheriff, I remember whenever we started talking about this 100 years ago, about we had a lot of dead spots in the county. Have we pretty much eliminated that?
This is going to take out, I could have brought maps of that. They've shown density of service, both for the handheld and for the car units. And these will all extend well beyond the county lines and pretty well make it to where that when EMS or law enforcement or even fire is inside a residence on the south end of the county, it's especially even the metal buildings, you've lost line of sight in some of these, but we'll have a good signal to where, yes, we shouldn't have the dead spots that we've encountered in the past.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Item number 15.
I move to approve contract amendment number 1, an extension of time to T. Baker Smith LLC for the American Rescue Act, Aransas County Water Tank Project to provide time necessary to complete the project and authorize the county judge to execute necessary documents.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second?
So the notice to proceed was not issued in May. When do we expect this to be issued?
We are ready to release a proposal. Have you written?
Eric?
I couldn't see my post. Like I say, this is to extend for the engineer to be on site or to stay on contract to complete the project. Once we realized we got to the point that when we release it and go out on a 60-day bid deal, by the time we pick that and start construction, the original contract would be expired and outdated. He wouldn't be on contract to see the project through. So this is to extend that.
After meeting with T. Baker Smith approximately a week ago,
Right.
they agreed that a November 30th contract amendment would suffice.
Okay. So do we know when we're going to issue the notice to proceed, or we're just saying we know it'll be done before November 30th?
We issued the notice to proceed back last August, and it was approximately a year is what they're estimating completion of construction.
Okay.
But the contract was done in May. We didn't issue the notice to proceed until August. There were contract negotiations and
Okay,
other
so
things.
that was May of 2023.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
May I add something? I'm not sure you're asking about T. Baker Smith's notice to proceed or for the construction, because we have not bid out for construction yet.
Right.
Okay.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 16.
I move to approve DLF Texas change order number 4 for the parking lot, which is a portion of the Aransas County Community Building / Plaza / parking lot, General Land Office Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Contract number 20-065-098-C270, adding $44,160 and 15 days. The new project substantial completion date will be July 29th, 2024. The contractor will replace old 156 linear feet of unleveled sidewalk, curb, and gutter, and redesign additional gutters to improve drainage, relocate the light pole, and install an ADA ramp.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Morning, Al.
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge. This is similar to the drainage projects where we have additional funds available. So it will come out of the grant to make improvements to this project, which is around the community parking lot.
I just have a question. In that letter that Mike Donahoe sent to Judge Garza, he noted that the light pole, which was installed in the parking lot, is a safety hazard. So the relocation is recommended as a safe solution. Is this a light pole that was recently installed?
Correct.
So who recommended that current location of
The previous project manager.
thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a question, some questions also? In the design of the parking lot, I know you said the previous project manager approved that placement. Was the placement of that light pole in the original design?
Not in that parking spot. It was originally designed to be within the landscaping, but there is a large drainage catch basin that is there, so it would have broken up that catch basin. So it was moved to be outside of the catch basin.
Did we approve that change to move it outside of the catch basin?
I believe we did,
Through Commissioner's Court? Or-
through Commissioner's Court.
Oh.
So
Okay, so are we at fault? Thus, we're the party that has to pay 14,000 plus.
14,000 for
Moving the light pole.
well, there's the funds available. I would have to go back and research how it got placed in the middle of that parking lot. If it was just a employee decided that, or if it went through Commissioner's Court.
Did the original designers come out to look at the area to see the catch basin there originally?
I believe that they actually probably designed it that way and didn't think about the light pole.
So wouldn't that be a design defect and not an employee decision?
Well, it was a design defect and it could have been put there, but then it was decided, I assume by the employee, to move it into that parking lot space. It could have been moved somewhere else in the landscaping, which is what we're trying to do now, where it would have been protected, but it was
Okay.
directed to put it in that spot, which is just outside of the landscaping.
Okay, who owns the sidewalk?
Well, it's part of the grants. What do I want to say? It's part of the grant project. We're
School board.
repairing the sidewalk on all three
So-
sides.
But Aransas County owns that sidewalk?
I would assume we do. It's on our
Okay.
property.
Is there a reason that they didn't do all the sidewalk at the same time?
Not that I'm aware of. But the part that they didn't do is the part where it's, and I don't know how the previous project manager came to that decision not to have that done. But it is the section of the parking, of the sidewalk that's near the jail, which lots of people will be utilizing. Part of it was replaced already. This, other part was not, and that's where it's shifted because of years of deterioration.
To your knowledge, was redoing all the parking or all the sidewalk in the original plan?
No, it was not.
So the designer never had an intent to put new sidewalk around the new parking lot?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay. Hence why they're asking us to pay this bill now.
Correct.
Thank
you.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 17.
Move to approve authorizing the county judge to execute the grant agreement awarding $120,000 grant from the Ed Rochelle Foundation for the purchase of aquarium equipment for the aquarium at Rockford. I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second.
This is a grant that will help us to purchase additional equipment for the aquarium. It's about half of what is expected to be needed. But it's a good start for the aquarium equipment. And the board will go out and raise the rest.
Okay, I was about to ask, what about the rest? All right.
And I think they covered that. Did you prepare this grant application?
It was started before me and then I finished up the documentation for it. And
I would say you did an excellent job on this.
Thank you.
Very, very thorough.
Commissioner Cheney.
Wait,
Aye.
I have a
Commissioner-
question. Sorry,
Yep.
I have a question. Their contract, if you will, for accepting the $120,000 grant does not have a term regarding either requiring that we put their name on stuff or permitting us to put their name on like a donation plaque. Will we, I would think that you'd be able to acknowledge them somehow or some way. Do you know if they are gonna withhold their permission for us to say things provided by the foundation?
I think I've actually seen on their website that they do not like to have that.
Okay.
So I'll look at that and I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank
you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0.
Move
Aye.
to approve awarding and authorizing the county judge to execute all necessary documents for the 3 standby generator installation projects for Aransas County, Texas, consisting of the airport field lighting DR 4332-0197, Road and Bridge Office DR 4332-0202, and Transfer Station DR 4332-0203 Hazard Mitigation Grant Project. The generator FEMA disaster recovery approved projects with the funding and sub-award agreement through the Texas Department of Emergency Management. GNW Engineers has recommended BLS Construction Incorporated to be awarded the project.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. More.
Good morning. This is G&W. He's here to answer any of your questions regarding the generator projects.
Yeah, good morning,
Morning.
everyone. My name is Scott Mason with G&W Engineers. We did conduct the bid opening on April 9th. Been a little while. We did have 4 responsive bidders that all submitted bids within $35,000 of one another. So it's very competitive bid that happened. And at this time, we reviewed all the bids, documentation, et cetera. Our actual 2 lowest bids were within several $100s of one another. We verified all the numbers. They all checked out, mathematics and all that kind of stuff. So at this time, we are recommending BLS Construction to award the contract to them. We've worked with them on many projects and have never had them fail us. So
They have done good work in this community. I know that.
done good work in this community. They've done good work in other communities as well. As we're established in Port Lavaca, we've worked with them on several projects in that area as well.
And they were the lowest bid?
They were the lowest bid, yes,
All right.
and best bid, in our opinion.
Any other questions? All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 20.
Was it 19 that we struck?
We struck 19, yes.
Okay, I thought it was 18. So this is,
I move to approve authorizing the county judge to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Homeland Preparedness Project to provide assistance with recruitment, training, managing and deployment of local volunteers at the direction of the Emergency Management Coordinator as part of a comprehensive disaster preparedness and response plan.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning, Mr. Gear.
Good morning, good morning. Are there any overall questions about it?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
So last year, I believe it was, there was a training program. I know that Commissioner Jupnik and others attended that. I think it was an all-day event. Is this different from that program?
I'm thinking of the CERT.
It was a
training.
CERT.
She was like
Yeah.
third training.
So, yeah, and that was actually all weekend. But CERT, it stands for Community Emergency Response Training. And ideally, what you end up with after you have these trainings is you put a team of folks that are trained together. And that's where we kind of have a little bit of a stumbling block. Number one, it takes a lot of effort to coordinate and execute these training courses. And then afterward to get everybody together and say, hey, okay, now we're gonna create a team and we're gonna have further trainings, or we're gonna do we're gonna participate in local events of significance where it might be nice to have the additional support of a preparedness group or an emergency response group. They're not EMS, they're not law enforcement, they're not firefighters, they may be volunteer, but this is just basically a stopgap until the first responders can arrive, and we don't currently have that. So, having said that, for me, it's been a kind of a boulder in the stream of productivity of providing the county with more coverage. HPP can come in and basically direct it and manage it. They can put the training together. Doesn't cost us a dime to do it, except like I told the judge, occasionally when we're going to host these events within the county, these training events, it's nice if we provide some snacks and things like that to kind of make it more comfortable for the folks.
Basically, the difference from last year's CERT training and what you're looking at here is to use a federally funded program to take care of that training and alleviate some of the time and
Well,
expense
yes.
associated locally.
Yeah, it didn't cost us anything last time except for the snacks. It was just put on by, and the training will be put on by whomever HPP can bring to the table for the training. And it's going to be, specific to what we need, which is CERT training. And that, in the case of last summer, it was the Texas Parks and Wildlife
Right.
provided the training, but it could be TEEX, could be TETM, could be a number of different agencies that could provide that training. It's just HPP will coordinate it.
But you're still working with local people to come and take the training
Yes, ma'am.
and to be the volunteers if a need arises.
That's right. And that's the other thing that HPP provides is recruitment.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dubnik,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
All right, passes 5-0. Item number 21.
I move to approve declaring a 2014 red Chevrolet Cruze in the Juvenile Case Manager's Department as surplus and used as a trade-in for the purchase of replacement vehicle, and authorize county judge to sign the necessary documents.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. So this vehicle was originally supposed to have been surplus back during the hurricane, and somehow it got missed and got sent to painters instead. So we have been dealing with this vehicle on and off with all the electronic problems from being wet inside, and we're at the point we need to turn it in. They have offered us $5,500 as a trade-in for that vehicle. So we're trying to keep that vehicle at $2,100. And this is money that we have gotten $7,000 from each one of the other entities, as in the school district, the city, and the county, that I've already budgeted and was approved through all other 3 agencies.
All right. How old's the car? Or
10 years.
10 years, yeah.
Yeah, we've been fighting it.
All
The
the windows
hurricane.
were broken during the hurricane, the car had moved. There was a lot of issues, but somehow it got into the shop and then we had to keep it.
Cool. All right, any other questions?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dubnik,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
All right, Passes 5-0. Item number 22.
I move to approve authorizing the county judge to sign the Texas Association of Counties 2024 Cybersecurity Course Enrollment Form to enroll Aransas County personnel in a mandatory cyber security training course to satisfy the requirements of Texas Government Code Section 2054 519 at a cost of $1,210, which is in our budget.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Colin.
Good morning. This is our annual requirement to meet state requirements to complete cybersecurity. We are conducting the training offered through TAC. This year is the first year they are charging for that, though. It is not included as part of our normal membership with TAC this year.
But they've provided it free for like
They
the last
did
4
provide
years or
it free
something.
for the last several years, but now that the law has teeth, they want it to cost money for us too.
So this is gonna be just self-paced, do it on your own computer thing.
It will be a self-paced. There will be a deadline come August or September, but we will be sending out the invitation links once we complete the enrollment.
And then we print the certificate and send it to Tracy or someone, right?
Correct. We'll put it with HR.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number
But
12.
Before we leave that, Judge, when's this gonna be available?
It'll usually be available about a week after we complete the enrollment. So
Okay,
we'll
which
start
is
sending
gonna
it
be
out.
about,
So probably this time next week, we will have the enrollments completed.
okay. All right, thank you.
Thanks. Item number 23.
I move to approve the Aransas County Indigent Healthcare Report for April 2024.
I'll second it.
Got a motion, got a second. Ms. Alma.
There's
Good
our
morning,
treasurer.
Madam
Welcome
Treasurer.
back.
We
We're
are,
on Indigent Healthcare Report.
Any questions?
No, you're keeping the prescription drugs down, so I'm guessing you've,
Yeah,
Found
they're
some
working on that pretty
solutions.
good and this month, actually, 12,000, that's not a whole lot of expenditures.
right? No hospital stays.
No.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
aye, passes. Item number 24.
Move to approve authorizing the county judge to sign the county request for capital credits and submit to the Texas Comptroller Unclaimed Property Division further authorize the county treasurer to disperse said funds received from the Texas Comptroller as follows: 100% through the Children's Coalition of Aransas County.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second.
So I had a discussion with Iris at the library. And so she has a literacy program, which is one of the categories we can spend the money on. And she still has sufficient funds to operate that. So I would like to, one of the other categories is to a children's advocacy. And I would like to, whatever money we get, give to the Aransas County Children's Coalition.
Do we have any idea how much money it might be?
We never know what we're gonna get.
What have we got in the past?
It's on that memo.
Yeah, is it on your thing? I don't
Yes, ma'am.
actually have it in front of me, but,
Shows last year 5,800 and.
yeah, I was
the year
gonna
before
say
13,000.
5,000, so it could be in that range, it could be less, it could be more. I never really know till we get it.
Thank you for recommending the Children's Coalition.
They do a good job.
They do a very good job.
All right.
Commissioner
Thank you.
Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Item number 25.
I move to approve authorizing the Aransas County Treasurer to sign a promissory note and disbursement request and authorization between Aransas County and Prosperity Bank for the automatic extension of the expiration date for 1 year on the irrevocable standby letter of credit number 1973 from Prosperity Bank to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, said extension going through June 1st, 2025. The letter of credit covers financial assurance of the Aransas County Transfer Station in the amount of $10,200.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second.
So every year this comes up for renewal. I know 10,000 is not going to clean up any hazardous materials if we were to abandon the transfer station, but that is all that is required by the TCEQ. And so every year when it renews, I have to sign a promissory note with the bank to back up the letter of credit that they give to the TCEQ. Any
Commissioner-
questions?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
All right, passes 5-0. Item number 26.
I move to approve job description for an assistant emergency management coordinator.
Got a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Good morning, Mike.
It's got Desiree's name on here, and she is the HR rep, and we did write the job description together, but it's probably more appropriate that I stand here and field your questions and try to justify why I think we need the position. Go
I
ahead.
think your action, I think the amount of training that you've gone through and the actions that you have in itself proves that we do need somebody to be able to legally follow in your steps if you're gone or on vacation or ill or whatever. I think it's a good idea.
Good, thank you.
My concern is that the background that the judge provided says creation of a part-time coordinator assistant. The job description itself says full-time. It also lists no pay group.
And that was my question also, because it shows $15,000 a year. And that looks like a part-time position unless you're trying to fund it for the remainder of this year's budget.
It would be a stipend like I currently get.
Okay.
Stipend, so it would be, it says part-time, but it's essentially an additional duty.
But I would like for the job description to not say classification full-time.
Or do you think it should say full-time and stipend, kind of like it does for the emergency management coordinator? That may be more appropriate because it is a really, I mean, I'm the emergency management coordinator 24 hours a day. The assistant would also be that assistant emergency management coordinator 24 hours a day. It's just that it'd be on a stipend.
Full-time parentheses, $15,000 stipend.
I think that's more appropriate.
So you're not planning to advertise this position, you're planning to award these duties to a person who already works for the county?
Well, I'd like to advertise it.
That's good.
Can I add something? If we make this a full-time position, you're talking about all of the retirement and the benefits and all that. And I don't know if that's where we want to go with this position. So it's probably not recommended to list it as a full-time. If it is part-time, then part-time people are only subject to retirement and none of the other benefits. So if you want to go there, then that's okay. Otherwise, it's almost, what, I don't know, Jackie, would you call it contractual?
It's like additional duties.
Well, okay, so
Only-
in my case, it is an additional duty because I'm already a full-time employee. And all the burden that Alma spoke to is absorbed already
Well,
through my other salary.
I guess my question would be, if you're looking for a stipend for an existing employee, their supervisor would have to say they have additional time on their hands. So it makes me wonder why we couldn't just assign that duty to somebody without additional pay.
But that's also a possibility. I'm recommending that we keep the stipend because I would like to broaden the search maybe beyond county employees.
Okay.
Basically advertise it for a member of our community that maybe is well qualified and would be a good, I think a good choice. We might be able to find that.
So this could be a part-time position, then not a full-time position again.
So that may, again, I don't know how we,
Well, if it's part-time, just like Alma said, you're gonna still, even if it's part-time, they will be subject to the TCDRS. And if it's anybody who has over 29 hours, 30 hours a week, then they are subject to all of our benefits.
The only thing about a part-time person or basically the only thing that, the only way we can get out of the retirement is if they are classified as temp.
Temporary, yes.
So if we want to go with the temp part-time, then they're not subject to any of the,
But if they're gonna be available all the time, then I don't think they would be considered temp either. So
no.
It would
Not
still be
necessarily.
part-time.
That's my concern is we never know when emergencies are gonna happen and never know whenever you're gonna be incapacitated or out of the area. I think it's gotta be a position that, I think it's gonna have to be, doesn't necessarily have to be a 40-hour position necessarily, but it needs to be somebody that's an employee of the county. Whether they're currently an employee of the county or an additional employee, you know, we don't need a temporary emergency services director. We have a emergency services director, but we do need somebody that's capable of stepping in that is under the control of the county judge and commissioner's court as far as the salary and stuff goes. It's a complicated deal, but emergency management is just not something that you can plan. And that really bothers me.
But there are times that the person, you would think, would have nothing to do or very little
Oh,
to
yeah,
do.
yeah,
And then when,
suspect that
during
is
times of
majority.
emergency. So it's not going to be a flat line of a work schedule. It's going to be peaks and valleys.
And this
To
is,
some, yeah, well, let me add to that it is the director, I see that a lot, where I have downtime as the airport manager and downtime as the emergency management coordinator, and you're kind of waiting on the next thing to happen. But what I'm also looking for with this assistant is somebody to help plan exercises, not only for the whole community, but for departments to attend training, to kind of be the person that can be in two spots at one time, kind of what I end up doing sometimes, where this can be somebody that we can send to another LEPC meeting or to an emergency management meeting, or to get a specific training that may not be practical for me to go to take that training at that time, or if I'm in another location. There's several conferences that we need to attend, that some of them are up against each other, and it'd be nice, I think, to be represented at each location.
And you need somebody to help you with all the plans in each
The
department.
plans in each department, yeah, the emergency action plan needs to be revisited. It's getting kind of long in the tooth, and it just, I think it's important to also to mention that, you know, I'm the only emergency management coordinator in the entire county. That's cities and towns and county. I'm the only one with that title. And so I am the default emergency management coordinator for Rockport and Fulton and the school district in some ways, you know, that they're all reliant on the county's EMC to come up with the plan and present it to the commissioner's court, and then y'all would approve it. So it would help, I think, to have another set of eyes to help put that together. Not to mention all the other trainings that I talked about that I think it's important to have representation at.
I can see you needing administrative support, and that's what this position is going to be, basically.
Yes, sir.
How was Chief McCluster's salary structured? Was he like 5,000 a year? Oh.
0.
Yeah, he didn't get.
He was like 3,000 to 5,000. I'm not sure exactly. He got a very, very small salary, basically kind of like our fire marshal.
Was it full-time, part-time?
Yes, he did have
Full-time for
GCRS.
The fire marshal.
Right.
Yeah, 2 or 3
Yes.
different.
Yeah, those two positions. One is the EMC and then one is the fire marshal. They
Yes,
received
and
a
he
small
received both,
stipend under
yes.
each.
So yeah, we're asking for a $15,000 stipend to fund this position, full-time, part-time.
I support the position. I don't support it as a full-time position.
If you want to change that to part-time, I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with it too,
Okay.
and I will add that this is not new money, it's budgeted in the salary
Right.
for EMC, and which we'll talk about more in June when we're doing the first budget hearings, but there will be a small increase to conferences and fuel expense and things like that to make sure we can get this other part-timer to the training.
Right.
I have a comment on the skills and abilities. I think you need to tweak it from understand and interpret legal processes and procedures to understand only, because if you say interpret,
Right.
it's required to be an attorney.
Okay.
So,
And
I
we
would-
probably need to look at that then for the emergency management coordinator position as well, because I think we basically mirrored a lot of the things, and I bet you that's probably in there. So I'll get with Desiree on that change. We'll call it part-time and make those changes.
Mike, I would suggest that we go ahead and table it this time and come back where you can give us some training that they need and, a full workout and see if a part-time position long-term is the right way to go, or we need to do some sort of modified full-time position.
I'm fine with tabling it, but it does line out in the job description, the kind of the training that
Yeah, but
the experience.
how much time is it gonna take to do it? How much away are they gonna be? I mean, that's a lot more than, hiring a part-time dump truck driver or something. I mean, it's a professional position that has a lot of authority and responsibility whenever you're out and we have an emergency. So I don't feel comfortable with the way it's written right now.
Okay.
That's just.
Do we have a motion on the floor?
There is a motion on the floor. Who gave the motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I repeat the motion.
Commissioner Duty gave it on
I did.
motion and you seconded.
It was first and second.
Okay.
To approve.
So maybe Commissioner Dupnick would amend his motion to table?
Or to amend
Okay.
We can
to,
make it as a part-time assistant emergency management coordinator.
Can we just do that instead of tabling it, or do you feel just to make it a part-time?
You can make the
Let's
motion.
table
We'll vote on it.
I'd like to amend my motion to make this position a part-time position.
and cross out the interpret.
And I'll second that.
Is that good, Adela?
Would be, but you have another commissioner saying table.
Yeah. That's a
Well,
second.
we'll vote
that's
on
a-
mine first, right?
Right, we'll vote on.
You vote on the second one first, don't you?
The first one.
Sub motion,
We're gonna vote on the amended motion.
the amended motion. I didn't get a second yet.
We're voting on Bob's amended motion.
We're voting on Bob's amended Commissioner
Kester-
Dupnick's amended motion.
And Commissioner Russo seconded it, right?
Yes.
sir.
Okay.
Commissioner Cheney,
Nay.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
4-1, sorry. Item number 27.
I move to approve the new job description for an animal welfare program coordinator.
Second?
Had a motion and we have a second. Ms. Frazier, want to come on up, please?
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, this is better. This is new. So what it is, sorry, I'm losing my voice. She's already, I'm sorry. She's already doing this. It is just changing the name of what Melissa was doing. We had her as a temp kennel, but she was actually helping us plan all of our events. She's been helping us with the PAC program, keeping that going, adding the street list. She avidly keeps going with helping talking to local businesses. Pretty much she's helped us a lot with our PR out in the field. She's helped with lost my train of thought. A lot of organizing where we have to try to focus on the law, our shelter, and everything else. She's helping us with more of our community outreach.
So this is actually reclassifying a current position
Correct.
to better describe the duties. And does the pay group and step remain the same?
Yes, ma'am.
And the last event that she kind of organized, that adoption event at Market Days, I mean, you had how many dogs adopted? 8 dogs adopted.
Yeah.
She's made a huge help with this community outreach.
The empty kennel, I think.
Yes.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 28.
Move to approve the April 2024 Auditor's Monthly Report.
Second that. Got a motion, got a second.
You have the auditor's report. I did add the calendar for the budget. Our budget calendar that gives all of this up until adoption, all of our dates and times. Other than that, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Where did you put the count? Oh,
It's
So-
in that report, and it was the very last page of the report.
Backside.
That's it, thank you.
Mhm.
My only comments, I think, and I'm not sure if you update the text in your letter every month, but on that downtown Anchor and Celebration Plaza, at the meeting the other day, they did say that all 3 elevators were delivered and that 2 were 100% installed.
I do look at it. I did not change the elevator just because of, sometimes it's hard to say every little thing that
Yeah.
they've told us, so.
That was just
but-
good to hear that something is being completed. And then under the flood control fund, how much of that is available for use on special projects?
In the budget, are you looking at the budget on a page?
Yes, ma'am. At 220?
I, normally you put about $50,000 in there. I'm not sure what was put in there this year. Right off the top of my head, I can't tell you exactly what was there.
Well, it
But-
just shows the revenue so far for this year is 525,000, if I'm reading this right?
Yes, ma'am. Part of that, well, part of that is gonna have to go, we've budgeted to transfer some over to Road and Bridge, so we've got about $750,000 will be transferred to Road and Bridge to assist in the expenses there. So there's not a lot of extra, there's not a lot of surplus in that fund. It will be going to Road and Bridge to help fund them.
All right.
Sorry.
Me too. It's, yes. David's like, what? I stay in touch with David.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 29.
Move to approve budget line item transfers for the 2023 budget.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second.
We have none for today.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 30.
I move to approve accounts payable and payroll/payroll liabilities.
Second.
The payroll and payroll liabilities as well as accounts payable are all normal. I would like to point out some of our capital stuff. PGAL on the courthouse, all there were some of their expenditures. It was $667.99. G&W Engineers, which are the generators that we approved today, was $2,042.56. Mott McDonald on the Little Bay feasibility study project, $2,338. Mott McDonald for the street drainage projects was $135,388.91. Gerke excavation or excavating on Linden Street was $314,195.85. Grant Connection, which is the Bayshore Drive project, was $3,720.83. And Orion Construction for the Bayshore project was $327,514.68. T. Baker Smith for the detention water tank, their fees were $5,038. Teal Construction, in this run, we have a $276,988.59. You will also see that there was a $542,641.45. That one was approved at the April 30th. It just did not show up on the report until this report was run. And then we have one for Ecos, which is a lockbox system for the new courthouse that was $8,326.50. If you have any questions on any of the others, I'd be happy to look them up and answer them for you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Section 12, reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. No action will be taken. Anybody got anything? All right, move on to item number 13. Reports about items of community interest. No action will be taken. Nobody? All right. Then I will, do I have a motion to convey into a closed session?
I move to convene into closed session to discuss a personnel matter. Pursuant to section 551.074 of Texas Open Meetings Act, personnel matters closed meeting. A, this chapter does not require a government body to conduct an open meeting. A1, to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, or A2, to hear a complaint or charge against an officer or employee. And 31B, subsection A does not apply if the officer or employee who is the subject of the deliberation or hearing requests a public meeting.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. We are adjourned momentarily and let's come back. Let's take a 10-minute break.
I move to reconvene into open session at 11:30.
Second.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline is absent, Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Item number 33.
We are not going to take.
We're gonna,
Oh,
Oh.
I'm sorry. I
you want me to make the motion on that?
I move that we approve revising the pay scale for the Aransas County engineer position from group 29 to group 31 and repost the position.
Second.
And it was the Aransas County Assistant Engineer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Second.
okay. I don't know if you said assistant. All right, got a motion, got a second.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0. Now, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll
Second.
A motion and a second?
Sorry.
Cheney,
Commissioner
thank
Cheney.
you.
And then Dupnick.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, thank y'all so much.
And Misty,
Yeah.
I hope that when I made that motion, that I did say revising the pay scale for the assistant county engineer. Okay, okay, good enough.